Have you ever felt like you're not achieving anything, not enjoying anything, not feeling anything, not having the energy you want, but doing it all in such a busy life? Like, we're a society of yes people, clicking like on the quote on boundaries on Instagram and working evenings and weekends, laughing to keep other people comfortable at social occasions we don't want to attend. Well, I've got some great ideas for you today, and it's all framed around this idea of essentialism, less but better. I'd like to give you some real top tips that are quick and easy so that you can start to bring this idea into your life. Number one, the vast majority of things are not important. And the trouble is, our brain will so happily try and convince us of the importance of the minutiae. When we're stuck in with our blinkers on this one little thing, we think that that is important. When actually, I like to say to myself, what are the dire, irreversible, life-changing negative consequences of not doing this thing? And most of the time, as you can imagine, the answer is, there aren't any. Well, in which case, that thing that my brain was trying to tell me is so important actually isn't essential. And I can therefore choose to reframe my perspective around that activity. It might be nice to get it done, but it's certainly not essential. So recognize, first of all, figure out what are the absolute essential criteria, and then focus on those. Everything else might be nice to get done, but it doesn't mean you have to do it. Okay, number two, which problem do I want? Which problem do I want? And this is all based around the idea that every decision you make has trade-offs. And when we try and do it all, we say yes to the 2 social engagements, to that project at work, to helping this person out, then actually we end up missing out on the kids' bedtimes. We miss the deadline. We're late to everything. We let people down. By saying yes to everything, then it means we say, by definition, no to other things. So we need to start to make this decision by design and not default. And I'll give you a really easy example of this. So if with your health and fitness, if you don't make the decision for that to be a priority in your life, then other people will make the decision about your priorities for you, always. And therefore, the workout, the food, the stress management is always bottom of the list. And those default decisions again and again and again ultimately add up to what potentially could be a big health problem in our lives. So you've got to choose which problem do you want most, because if we don't choose, be so sure that your boss, your family, your friends, your colleagues, they will make that decision for you if you don't. Which problem do you want? Okay, number 3 we're on now, and before I tell you that, head down to the description section. Go click on a link there, my blog link, hit subscribe, and I could be ending up in your inbox in the next couple of minutes, sending you some amazing free things to help you step into your full picture of health, like strength in mind, body, and spirit. That's what I'm all about. And if you're loving this, you're gonna love what I have to send you. Okay, so less but better, big idea number 3, explore, play, sleep. I think we think that's for the kiddies or for being weak, when actually if you are tired, overworked, emotionally and physically exhausted, you're not in a place to make good decisions. You're not going to make good decisions. And the thing is, we have to be able to have those good decision-making abilities to be able to discern from the trivial many from the vital few. So we need to explore the freedom, the creativity, the play in order to be able to figure out what are the vital few things that I need to be doing. Rest and sleep. I promise you, you are not a freak of nature that can get by without those things. And I know it feels like, yeah, I can survive in 5 hours a night. Like, culture and society and productivity is telling us that we should not value these things. But we forget how good it actually feels to have a reality where we do rest and we do sleep. So explore, play and sleep. Make space in your life for those things. It's not wasting time. You won't regret it. Okay, number 4. I'm gonna hit something hard here. And yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable for some of you. You have to eliminate the unnecessary. Eliminate the unnecessary. And I'm not making any kind of suggestion that that is easy at all. I work with my clients quite a lot about gateway decisions. That can be a way to eliminate the unnecessary. With the idea that you make the decision once makes then multiple future decisions for you in the future. In my context, that might be like, well, let's change the size of your plates, because then that's going to influence how much you put on those plates every single mealtime in the future. Other times it might be saying no. Now, this is where it gets tricky, doesn't it? Because hands up, who's a people pleaser? I think we all are on some level, aren't we? Because if we say no, we feel like we're going to disappoint someone. We might even be risking the relationship. We have this fear that we're a bad person if we say no. But this is something that I'm stepping into like recently, really, the power of a graceful no. And if you'd like some ideas about how to gracefully say no without even necessarily using the word no, then go click on my blog link below, because I've got some suggestions of some phrases or some tips that you might use to use a powerful, graceful no. I know it's not easy, but we can do it, and we'll find freedom with it when we do. People will respect you more when they know where your no is, not less. Okay, and final idea for this power of essentialism, this concept of essentialism. There is genius in the routine. And you know, life's better with a plan, so I'm the plan coaching. Like, my business name is not by accident. Like, life is better with a plan. And I think people have this false idea that like plans or routines or habits are boring or restrictive, when it's the opposite. So routines and habits, they are like magical to me. They light me up. And do you know why? Because routines and habits allow behaviors to flow, and therefore the outcome is just the extension of that routine. And I was reading in Essentialism by Gregor McEwen, which is where a lot of these ideas have come from. That's your further reading if you want it, people. About Michael Phelps, the Olympian athlete, and his routines were strict and they were ingrained from the moment that he woke up to the moment of the race kicking off. Everything was programmed, like mentally what he's thinking about, physically what he's doing. So actually winning the race is just the extension of all of those different routines, those different actions that have already happened. And that is genius to me. So there's freedom in routine and habits, because the basics are figured out for you. Like, flow can happen from that point. Okay, so here's my challenge for you this week. Less but better. What are you gonna do? What's been most helpful? Go let me know below. Click on the next video and let's keep learning together.